Hi everyone, in today's video I will talk about automatic virtual machine activation in Windows Server. So, as I said, in this video I will talk about automatic virtual machine activation in Windows Server. I am currently on the Microsoft documentation site, where we can find the information about this topic. As you can see, it applies to every single Windows Server edition, Windows Server 2025, 22, 19 and 2016. So this is very accurate, and this is the place where, this is the base place I would say, where you can find information about some tools and some things that you can do in Windows Server. So let's start. About automatic virtual machine activation in Windows Server. So we have the shorthand to this. It is AVMA, and automatic virtual machine activation acts as a proof of purchase mechanism, helping to ensure that Windows products are used in accordance with the product use rights and Microsoft software license terms. AVMA lets you activate Windows Server virtual machines on a Windows Server Hyper-V host that is properly activated even in disconnected environments. So you don't have to simply have, you don't need to have a network connection in order to use it. Now, AVMA binds the virtual machine activation to the licensed virtualization host and activates the virtual machine when it starts up. When you use AVMA, you can get real-time reporting on usage and historical data on the licensed state of virtual machine. Reporting and tracking data is available on the virtualization host. And now we have a practical application section, and we can read it. So on virtualization host, AVMA offers several benefits. Several data center managers can use AVMA to do following tasks. And the first task is activate virtual machine in remote location. The second one is activate virtual machine with or without an internet connection. And the third one is track virtual machine usage and license from the virtualization host without requiring any access rights on the virtualized system. And now, service server provider agreement, which means SPLA, partners and other hosting providers don't have to share product keys with tenants or access a tenant's virtual machine to activate it. Virtual machine activation is transparent to a tenant when an AVMA is used. Hosting providers can use the server logs to verify license compliance and to track client usage history. So that is about the practical applications. Now, in terms of system requirements, to run a guest virtual machine, a virtualization server host must activate the host. You can obtain host activation keys from the Microsoft 365 Admin Center of your OEM provider. Now, you have the note that in failover cluster, each virtualization server host in the cluster must be activated for guest virtual machines to stay activated, regardless of which server they run on. So this is also very important information. AVMA requires a Windows Server Data Center edition with the Hyper-V server host role installed. The Windows Server version of the host determines which version it can activate in the guest virtual machine. The following table lists the guest virtual machine versions that each host version is able to activate. A host version can access all editions, data center, standard or essential of its eligible guest virtual machines. Virtual machine versions. And as you can see, here we have the table. The table with a server host version. So as you can see, Windows Server 2025, 22 and so on until 2012. And you have Windows Server guest virtual machine, I would say. So as you can see, 25 version is compatible with all of them. Why? Because I would say it is compatible with the current one and the older ones. So in that case, it is compatible. For example, 22 is compatible with 2012 older ones, and 2012 is only compatible with 2012. So this is how it works. We have also the note that AVMA does not work with other several virtualization technologies. And how to implement this AVMA. You have to activate virtual machine with AVMA. Use a generic AVMA key detailed in NVMe keys that corresponds to the version of Windows Server that you want to activate. To create a virtual machine and activate it with a AVMA key, follow these steps. Now, on the server that hosts the virtual machine, install and configure the Microsoft Hyper-V server role. Ensure that the server is successfully activated. For more information, see Install Hyper-V server section. Now, create virtual machine and install a supported Windows Server operating system on it. We have the important note that the Data Exchange Integration Service, also known as a key value pair exchange, must be enabled in the virtual machine settings for NVMe to work. It is enabled by default for new virtual machines, so it is enabled by default, but if you somehow disable it, you have to activate it again. So, after installing Windows Server on the virtual machine, install the AVMA key on the virtual machine from PowerShell or an elevated command prompt. Run the following command. So, you have this command slmgr with the option IPK, and here you have to pass the AVMA key. So this is how it works. The virtual machine automatically activates, providing that the virtualization host itself is activated. So you can also add the AVMA key in an unattended setup file. So this is how it looks like. Here we have the keys. So for Windows Server 2025, you have these keys. So for Data Center Edition, Data Center Azure Edition, and for Standard Edition. And you can switch it between versions if you want to. Now, reporting and tracking. The key value pair, which shortcut is key VP, exchange between virtualization host, the virtualization provides, and the virtual machine provides real-time tracking data for the guest operating system, including activation information. This activation information is stored in Windows registry of the virtual machine. Historical data about AVMA request is logged in the event viewer on the virtualization host. For more information about this, you can go into this site, but you have important information that the key value pair data isn't secured. It can be modified and it isn't monitored for changes. Key value pair data should be removed if the AVMA key is replaced with another product key, retail, OM, or the volume licensing key. Since the AVMA activation process is transparent, error messages aren't displayed. However, AVMA requests are also logged on the virtualization host in the event viewer, in the application log with event ID 12310, and on the virtual machine with event ID 12309. The following events are captured on the virtual machine. And here you have these events. We have 3 of them. So maybe I will read it. So you have AVMA success, which means that the virtual machine was activated. You have invalid host. That means that the virtualization host is unresponsive. This event can happen when the server isn't running a supported version of Windows. You have invalid data. Invalid data means that this event usually results from the failure in the communication between virtualization host and the virtual machine, often caused by the corruption, encryption, or data mismatch. And you have the fourth one, which is activation denied. That means that the virtualization host couldn't activate the guest operating system because the AVMA ID didn't match. And this is all what you have on the Microsoft site about the AVMA Windows Server. Is basically automatic virtual machine activation, and it applies to all. You can read it and you can get some information from it. Of course, if you want to get information about something different from the Windows Server, you can go to this site and you can see and you can search for it. For example, find by the title. You can use this search bar in order to find something exactly what do you need. So that's all in this video. This is how the automatic virtual machine activation in Windows Server works. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in the next videos.